Spiral Dial. Sci-fi with a soundscape.
A flurry of fur flashed before her eyes. She felt a great weight lifted from her. Finn. The cat had knocked the stone from her lap. With the stone removed, she felt her body start to recover. First, her eyesight brightened enough for her to see the noxious purple substance lift itself from her limbs. First her legs, then her abdomen, then she felt her tongue reform itself, tingling with the aroma of fresh salt. Last of all, her teeth lifted themselves from the sand before her eyes, flying back into place and slotted into place. It had to be the strangest sensation she had ever experienced. Slowly, carefully, she turned her neck first one way, then the other. Something crunched to the right-hand side of her mouth, releasing a vestige of the smell of decay. She shuddered. Finn, meanwhile, sat on the sand above her, cleaning himself as if nothing whatsoever had happened. Pyrope, what the hell was that? No response. Jessica scanned her body. There was a faint tingle within her left foot, but no response. She formed a small bubble within herself, pouring what little energy she had left into Pyrope. Thank you, sister, Pyrope whispered. This is a trap. You are kidding, Jessica said. I hadn't guessed. She watched the dolphins gamboling outside the reef. Their antics now took on a whole new meaning. I guess they knew where they were taking us. Are all of the animals on board in on the joke? She passed a handful of sand beneath her fingers, inspecting it beneath the sunlight. Pure coral, no bones. She dug deeper but found only pieces of sea creatures. Could it have been an illusion? Whatever it was, she was in no hurry for a repeat. And yet the purple rock still seemed to draw her in. She reached out for it. Perhaps, if she didn't form a bubble, it would be okay. Finn let out a loud meow, shooting her a baleful glare before scampering off after a passing fly, jumping up to catch it in his mouth. Oh well, at least one of us has something to eat. Jessica's stomach was rumbling. Thoughts of the purple rock were displaced by hunger. She couldn't remember the last time she'd eaten. It seems returning to the earth is out of the question. How about we stick to the beach? A grand tour of the island. As if he had understood her perfectly, Finn trotted ahead of her, Leading the way, shrugging, she got up and made her way along the sand. After 20 minutes, they were back where they had started by the purple rock. The island could not have been more than 1 kilometre in circumference. Pure white sand surrounded bare purple rock. Not an ounce of greenery could be seen anywhere. No fresh water. Jessica was already parched. She sat down on the sand, considering their options. Their chances of swimming back out to the ship appeared negligible. Assuming the dolphins would help them again, the waves were far too powerful. Even if Jessica could make it alone, taking Finn would be out of the question. And if they remained here, without the ability to make a bubble, how would they feed and water themselves? The storm had been icy, but here on the island the sun beat down on them. Without shade, food and water, they would not last long. Jessica stood. She would have to inspect the island again. There must be some way they could get through this. As she stood, she saw something she had previously missed. A large white bag nestled behind the purple rock. She approached it with caution, nudging it away from the boulder with her foot. Experimentally, she prodded it with a finger. There was no reaction whatsoever. No strange sensation. It was a drawstring bag, a large one, a little like a Christmas stocking. It bulged with suggestive contours. Gently, she lifted the bag by 2 corners, pulling apart the drawstring, and emptied the contents out onto the beach. 3 long white bags, a small black box, a fishing rod and bait, some plastic sheeting, a Swiss Army knife, a large box containing a multitude of tins, a large bag of butter, candy, 3 bottles of water, several plastic bowls, a well-worn copy of the Bible. Casting the Bible to one side, she inspected the packages. The black box looked intriguing. On opening it, it turned out to be a solar-powered radio. Laying it out in the sun, she left it to charge. The white bags contained none other than 3 hammocks, complete with sunshades. Jessica prodded one gingerly. No response. She set them up on the sand, grateful for the respite from the blazing sun. Taking a sip of water, she found Finn paying close attention to the tins. Cat food. rather expensive cat food, in fact. Jessica thought she may as well reward him for saving her life, prying one open with the Swiss Army knife and presenting it to him in one of the bowls. All in all, it looked like they weren't going to die that day. She reached out, turning the radio on, flicking through the channels. She easily found the Mayday channel they had heard that morning. It was broadcasting completely unchanged. Flicking through the rest of the frequencies, she was surprised to find some beautiful music playing. The sound of summer, the sound of holiday. She lay back in the hammock and tapped her toe to the beat. This she could get used to. Gently from side to side, soothing her. She was about to drift off when it happened. as the beat of the music intensified. The water seemed to rise and fall in time with the music, sending waves shooting out from the island, crashing against the reef and reflecting them back, rising higher and higher up the beach, threatening to wash them away. Reaching for the radio, she clicked the off button. The vibrations stopped, but the waves remained. Higher and higher they rose until she was convinced they would be swept away into the storm. Just as the waves reached them, they started to die down. But what was that in the distance? A large, dark object atop the crest of a wave. Shading her eyes from the sun, she strained to see what it was. But before she could do so, the wave broke all in one piece, casting whatever it was onto the reef and breaking it into pieces. Jessica caught sight of arms and legs amid the foam. Someone was in there, probably injured. Before she could stop to think, she found herself running into the waves, swimming as fast as she could towards them. They were bobbing amid the waves. No sooner did they push their head up than another wave hit them and pushed them under. She grabbed them, pushing them both onto the wave, just as the dolphins had shown her, and surfed onto the beach. Arriving amid the foam, the person she had rescued started thrashing around. She had to jump out of their way. Another trap? Possibly. They certainly didn't seem very grateful. Not only that, they were completely wrapped in blue netting. She carefully untangled the mess. Shoulder-length black hair emerged atop a sodden purple velvet suit. Surely it couldn't be him. Fancy seeing you here, darling,